confident around, no matter how bad I am.
I think I can just break the ice for myself, basically, and then hopefully at some point be able to get back out on the big stage again.
I'm getting out on this journey, or tour as I call it, which is really all about learning and recovering, coming to terms with a lot of things, just to move forward, really, and to not get stuck. I want to just share my own experience, going back through my whole life from the beginning. Maybe that will inspire other people. I was here in grade 1, 6 years old. Let's do this. Wow. You guys gotta come in here. Okay. Now, this was the living room. Up to this point, that was the whole living room. Now there's 6 of us living in here. It's not that bad, really. Now, this was the bedroom for the 4 of us. This just from me onto the stairs. Being a poor kid, I knew how to pretend I wasn't hungry when I was famished, to act like I wasn't cold when I was freezing. These walls, they might be better insulated now, but I can tell you, 23 years ago, it wasn't. And when you don't have heat, the heat goes off and you get really cold.
It was just the norm. Just like it was the norm for me to not have a lunch. That was our life.
I don't think there was one home we ever lived in that didn't have empty cupboards except for Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah.
What's the dominant feeling of this house?
The dominant feeling?
Yeah.
You know, there was some violence here. And I can't imagine how anybody even has room to be violent in here. I mean, and it's just loud, like, you know, like just, you know, it's everything, you just hear all that, and your bedroom's right there, the kids are right there, and if there's violence going on anywhere, you're right in it.
Being in the Bannerman house, I felt uncomfortable. Terrible, awful things happen there. And when something is uncomfortable, I tend to kind of go into a little shell almost.
You hide away, you're scared. And the house is shaking and is pounding and yelling and screaming and crying, and you don't even know what's happening, and it's almost scarier to not be able to see what's happening, to connect the dots. But you're too afraid to look. And so you just don't look. And then you just wait for it to be over like a bad thunderstorm.
We just hovered together as kids, and when we were young, we just stayed out of the way.
The violence in our home, it scared me, it upset me, you know, it was traumatic. You know, when you're little, you don't even really know what's going to happen, you just know it's really bad.
Yeah.
Well, I started to realize that he could kill her.
Yeah. I remember feeling so helpless and desperate, more for my mom, you know, than anything, because she was the one that was really being tortured and beaten.
I think in my mother's situation, she was just stuck, you know, kids and different fathers and a man that was a really beautiful person and did such a great job in so many ways. Certainly I would say he did his best job to raise us like his own, absolutely. And so as complicated as he got, I still loved my dad, and I still feel he did his best. And am I the only one that thinks that?
I don't know. But it is a strange thing. You don't judge, and as I say, I don't understand how we do that, or that happens, and we experience it, and then we skip down the driveway and go to school. I don't know.
were many times during my childhood that I had adult conversations with my mother about leaving my dad. She put me in that position as the friend. You know, we did leave often, but she always went back. He was my best friend's husband. That's twisted.
That reality thing is too sensationalized and it bothers me. I don't want to be sensational.